Carolyn Cavecche was born in Long Island, New York, the only daughter of a devoted mother who moved a young Carolyn, her older brother, and her grandparents across the country in search of a better life. The family settled in unincorporated Irvine, which, at the time, was rural, with only a few small housing developments. Cavecche recalls playing alongside what would be the Interstate 405 as it was being built. Never a stranger to hard work, Carolyn kept goats and chickens, which she parlayed into pocket money by creating a fresh egg delivery route, delivering eggs from 200 chickens each day. Cavecche's first experience with elected office was as a teenage constituent, speaking in front of a newly formed Irvine City Council to request a proclamation in honor of 4-H Week. She was an active member throughout her days at University High School, and at the time hoped to become a veterinarian. She went on to attend college at Long Beach State University, where she was part of the men's crew team, acting as the group's coxswain, steering the vessel, making tactical decisions quickly, and shouting encouragement to her rowing team, which would prepare her well for elected office. With a megaphone in hand, she guided the crew team, which included her future husband, Rick Cavecche. After spending several practices with Carolyn yelling into his face, Rick asked her out, and the rest was history. They were soon married and raised 3 beautiful children, Kendra, Willie, and Stephen. The young family moved to Orange, where faith was central to their lives and continues to remain Carolyn's guiding light. As time progressed, Cavecche became dedicated to making Orange more family-friendly. She worked with City Hall to draft an ordinance to obscure adult content magazines in Orange stores. That first brush with public service led to an appointment on the Community Video Advisory Board. She was then appointed to the Library Board, where she successfully led a campaign to keep the Orange libraries under local control.
And a lot of people probably don't know that she was the face of moms in Orange way back when her kids were really little, and she wrote for the Orange City News. And she would give anecdotes about what it was like to run the carpool, to go to soccer games, to manage and juggle 3 kids, and going to the library, and just everything you would just do as a hardworking mom. And has just really, from there, parlayed that into working for our libraries and working for our parks until eventually she moved into elected office. And it's just really, for me as a working mom and being really active in my community, a true inspiration.
Deciding that she could have an even greater impact as an Orange Council member, Carolyn successfully campaigned for office to serve out an 18-month council vacancy in 2001. Following that, she ran and won her first full term in 2002. Carolyn became mayor for the first time 4 years later in 2006 and served 3 consecutive terms as our mayor.
I love working with Carolyn because she's the kind of person, whenever I approach her with a problem, is always saying, how can I fix it? What do you want me to do? And what can I bring to the table? A recent example is she did an audit of the Metrolink, and it's a very unflattering audit of the Metrolink, and she presented it to my committee at OCTA, the Finance and Administration. And I can tell you, I read that report, and I didn't have to go below the surface like I typically do with other people. I just knew that if Carolyn Cavecche put her signature on that particular report, that I could take to the bank every single word in that report. I just know that whatever outcome is going to be the final result, whether we win, lose, or draw, we just maintained our integrity throughout the process.
Campaign mode wasn't always easy for Carolyn's family, but elected office did offer an unexpected perk for the mayor's youngest son once.
It was late at night, driving my dad's car, and for those of you who don't know what my dad's car is, it's a black Honda, black tinted windows, which is completely illegal to have at least black tinted windows in the front part of the car because they can't see you. But I got pulled over, and the guy, I rolled down my window. I'm just like, crud! I just got my license, so I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, dang it! So then the cop pulls up, and he asked for my license registrations. I show him my license, and he recognizes my last name. And then he was like, Cavecche? I was like, yeah. I was like, that sounds familiar. And I was like, yeah, my mom's the mayor of Orange. And he just gets bug eyed. His face turns white. And he just freaks out. He's like, have a good day. Hands me my license and leaves. And that's when I was like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, my mom runs the city. Kind of like, yeah. But I promise, Mom, that's the only time I've been pulled over. Promise.
Down to earth and grounded in faith, Carolyn has used the precepts of New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani to guide her style of leadership. In his book, Giuliani notes, anyone can attend a wedding. Leaders attend funerals. During her tenure, Carolyn has attended services for strangers and friends alike as part of her duties, and to this day has kept every prayer card to remind her that faith comes first.
Her group of friends come pray with her before the council meeting, every single council meeting that I know of for the 8 years that I served with her. This is a woman who worships every Sunday with her family and Bible studies in between, and is deeply committed to God's plan in our community. And she's not flashy about it, but certainly sincere, and is governed by our Creator and governed by God's will in her life. And it's something that I appreciate very much in her.
After so many years in public service, the former mayor has seen many ups and downs. When asked what she feels is her greatest accomplishment, she's quick to answer that her years as mayor were most important. She's proud to have led the city successfully through the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. Through it all, she's never strayed from her core values and mission to make Orange a safe and stable home for families.
I think Carolyn's leadership style is collaborative, but she doesn't shrink from a controversy either. So she knows where she wants to go, but she brings other people with her.
This community will never know the depths, the heights, the distance, the time that this woman has invested in our community. Few people know that she's traveled back and forth to Washington, D.C., to New York for years and years, lobbying for us for transportation issues with OCTA. This is a woman who goes up and down the state enjoying and looking at the way other cities do things so that we are on the cutting edge of technology. This is a woman who volunteers at her children's school, at church, in the community, a woman who doesn't drink a drop selling beer at the Orange International Street Fair because the Rotary needs the money for their causes. Definitely Carolyn is an appropriate person as a community champion. And the wonderful thing about Carolyn is that she doesn't care if anybody notices or appreciates or thanks her for what she's doing. It's all about Orange and this community, and that is truly a community champion.
So it's with great pride that we honor our former Orange Mayor, Carolyn Cavecche, as our 2013 Community Champion.